So this is 132 military bases placed down at once. This is an unreleased, insanely overpowered admin only unit. And this is just an average game on Polluted Wasteland. All of these things are of course only possible through admin commands. Now, I do not have admin commands, I haven't gotten them magically since last video, but someone who does is Spectin, one of the TDS community managers who agreed to help me make this video and showcase some very wacky stuff. Now, this whole experience was pretty chaotic. I'm going to try to organize this in terms of games, meaning before I get into the admin exclusive towers, the rarest units, I want to begin with something a bit sillier. In this game, I went into Nether on hardcore mode, and Spectin provided me with infinite money and an uncapped placement limit. So with this power, I began by just spamming down some ace pilots and military bases, immediately going over the spawning tower's normal limit of 5. But soon after I switched to Frost Blasters. This is an old event tower that was recently reworked, and what better way to test it than by spamming a small army of them. They froze and destroyed even these hardcore zombies. The Fallen Titan had nothing on them. And I was constantly spawn camping or spawn freezing or whatever. These were honestly too strong. I had to sell a bunch to even be able to see the zombies. And when the Gravedigger mini boss spawned in wave 36, the Frost Blasters couldn't freeze the boss in place, but they did slow it down enough for golden minigunners to easily finish it off. And now I decided on a new course of action. I wanted to fill this entire map with military bases. I actually ended up losing on wave 39 because I had nothing to really kill these lead balloon guys, but you can still place towers after the end of the game. So I just continued spamming down as many towers as possible, and after about 3.5 minutes of placements, I had successfully created the ultimate military base army. You can't even see the path anymore. With them not despawning at the entrance, I did start to lag a bit, but not as horribly as I would have thought. And I mean, that's pretty much it. I didn't have a whole lot of direction here, I was just kind of doing random stuff. So I wanted to change that for the next attempt, as I wanted to try a true admin commands challenge to attempt to triumph the Badlands game mode with no towers by tanking every single zombie, which would be totally possible, as Spectin could just give me infinite health. But that's a little too straightforward. I wanted to end with as little HP as possible. I mean, 1 HP would be the dream, but anything under 10,000 would be great. So after doing some intense calculations, I came up with this number. 3,601,931 health. And now, I just had to play it out. In practice, this gameplay wasn't super exciting, as for the first 30 waves, I was just sitting there, not taking much damage at all. Alright, first tanks, and ooh boy, now the damage is starting to really ramp up. Like, Renso, I wrote Renso in the script, I don't even know what that means. Something there anyways. I had a huge surplus of health as I approached wave 40, and I was starting to think I had shot too high, but that all started to change around wave 37, as the Necromancer bosses began spawning. Okay, now I lost 500k pretty quick. This is where the damage starts to get a bit more serious. Yeah, this was like this graph curve. After taking practically no damage for almost the entire run, I was now hemorrhaging health. Holy moly, I'm taking a lot of damage. Dear God. Okay, I'm gonna skip actually. Dude, I just lost so much so quickly. And after also skipping on wave 39, I did reach the final wave and boss. However, I had now dipped below 1,000,000 health, and with this boss remaining, it wasn't looking good. I have 700k left. The boss is 600k. It's really not looking good. How much do these have? 25k. Yeah, that's not great. And as the cavalry entered the base, they cut my HP down too low. What is he doing? Look at this. He's just sliding. So the gunslinger slowly slid his way towards my base. And I only had 475,000 health remaining. Here it comes. Ugh. There it is. Dead. So yeah, I was actually fairly close with my guess there, as I only need about 130,000 more health, which I don't think that's too bad. So for the final match, I mean this was actually the first one we played, but it fits better at the end here, so fake video. Spectin played out the entire round with me as we attempted to try and Polluted Wastelands. Since he was available throughout to use commands, this brought the chaos level to an unprecedented high. We started off with infinite money and the uncapped placement limit, where I decided to spam paintballers. Why? I don't know, I guess I just picked the weakest tower I could see. While I was doing that, Spectin carried our defense by getting a maxed out war machine in wave 10. I talked about this before, it's an exclusive troop given only to TDS moderators and staff. Very strong, he even gave all my nearby towers a damage buff. Spectin then also placed a mecha base, another unobtainable tower, except even more exclusive, as it's only given to admins and higher ranking team members. So with all that power, and a few other random towers down, we breezed through the early game, easily reaching wave 30. But also by this point, my recording was starting to drop frames from all the paintballers. I had 110 total towers placed down. Now 111. And you know, we weren't even like overpowered or anything. These amalgamations were still making it past the first loop of the path, and it was looking a tad scary. So I asked Spectin for some help, and he provided. As during the tail end of this game, while my huge clumps of paintballers began to falter, Spectin began spawning in some special units to help us survive. In the normal game there's what, like 4 types of these? The elves, the military, the crook boss guards, the skeletons. But these units here were all a tad bit more interesting. And you started with... it's Engineer Sentry, the one that builds to attack, except it slides along the path for some reason. It has 120 health, but otherwise the exact same stats as the normal sentries, making it actually pretty strong. Although, just as with the regular sentry, it has a despawn timer, limiting its effectiveness a bit, but they could still easily clear out some hordes. And after dealing with those, a couple waves later, Spectin then spawned. This is completely unused content that was never publicly implemented into the game. I would guess it's remnants from an unused army camp tower, which was teased as a potential new addition in this old tweet. Unlike one of the later unreleased units though, this one is a bit basic. Like, you can clearly tell this is an outdated model, as it resembles the appearance of the soldier tower from 2020. It'll walk along the path until something's in range of its gun, where, as with the soldier tower, it'll attack with bursting shots. Yeah, I don't think they're doing anything too crazy here. It only has like 25 health and a DPS of 10. Kind of a fraud unit, as they also glitched out and got stuck in place. Quite unlike... This is an undeniable classic. As you can tell by the model, it's also quite outdated, as the SWAT van used to be public, part of an ability on the Enforcer tower during like 2020. You would press this button, and this car would spawn in and go along the path. With 600 health, it's not too strong, but it is iconic. And they helped clean up some of the zombies in wave 38. So, as we entered the final wave, Spectin spawned the last couple units. These are the second oldest version of the current Crook Boss bodyguards, I think, and in my opinion, they definitely got the best fits. But moving on, he also spawned in a train of... These dudes are from the 2020 Halloween event. You can see them in one of the few old screenshots I took during that time. There's 2 variants with different weapons. Citizen 1 has 135 health and holds a 60 DPS pitchfork. Citizen 2 has 100 health and wields a 116 DPS sword. And if you're wondering who's better, Citizen 1 clears. Like in this clip, Citizen 2 just runs to his death, while 1 was really putting that work in. But even so, this is a really hard game mode, and they could not survive. In fact, it wasn't looking great in general. Now, we had a lot of paintballers, but not a whole ton of DPS. Luckily, there was 1 more unit left. This is a secret, not really secret, John's made a video on it, unit that was never implemented into the game. It's from sometime around the 2021 era, and features a hellish monster being controlled by a handler, who is really struggling there. He has sweat particles and everything. Besides its normal walking animation, it can also stop in place to attack incoming zombies, where it will also get stuck. Yeah, it is a bit buggy, but that doesn't negate its raw power. An average path going unit has, what? The ones I just talked about had like under 100 health. The van had the most at 600, the monster has 400,000. It has 400,000 health, that's not a joke. It can kill a gravedigger, a molten boss, a fallen king, all at the same time and have leftover health remaining, making the monster the strongest anything in TDS history. Like here, you can see it just obliterate these nuclear guardian zombies, dealing 130,000 damage just like that. And although it took some time for the boss to loop back around to face it, it was able to instantly delete the last portion of the nuclear monster's health bar. Yeah, easy duo win, it's that simple. If you're wondering why this thing exists, according to some old below natural tweets, this was originally originally meant to be a part of the 2021 Frost Invasion event, but was cut due to multiple bugs and issues, which can be seen in the gameplay attack animations, such as him facing because when Spectin spawned it here, the handler didn't bug out. I just took all that from a Wikia Colors video. So yeah, in conclusion, admin commands are pretty fun. It was cool to get to mess around with all this stuff. Big thanks to Spectin for making this video possible, GOAT. And before I end the video, here's some little bonus admin moments. With commands, you can apparently spawn different towers with unique skins. So in the Fluid game, I asked for a bunny mortar, which absolutely goated skin. And in this another game, Spectin was able to spawn a plushie DJ. Free life hack to save like 60 bucks. Last of all, if you're wondering, I did actually get back the developer exclusive static name tag, which I've been using throughout this video. You can only obtain this if someone uses admin commands to give it to you. This wasn't related to my games with Spectin. After getting it from Nexture earlier this year, and accidentally losing it during the name tag update, I again received the name tag back from Nexture when I joined to check out the quest update a few weeks back. So yeah, subscribe.